Welcome back to Artists on Artists on Artists on Artists, the holidays. This holiday season, our artists brought a roundtable full of your favorite writers of holiday songs.
From Up on the Rooftop to Santa Baby, all of your favorite Christmas songs wouldn't be the same without the people who wrote them.
The holidays bring a lot of traditions, and one of the biggest traditions are the songs that start beginning to play as early as November 1st on the radio. Yes, what would your favorite holiday traditions and celebrations be without that soundtrack that brings so much for you to enjoy? Emphasis on joy.
So let's sit back, relax, jingle up, and listen in. We're talking to Christmas songwriters.
Well, Merry Christmas, everybody.
Well,
It's the holiday season.
Hey,
Jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell rock.
Look what the big man brought me. You guys are my presents this year. You
This
guys
is
are
so
certainly my
fun.
presents this year. This is exactly what I've been wishing for. Oh, here are some people to talk about writing songs with. This is really
I was
fun
thinking
stuff.
the same thing. This is actually awesome.
This is really fun stuff.
Yeah, this is so fun. This is so fun.
Shall
I'm
we
such
go
a big
around?
fan.
I think I saw you guys in Palm Springs in July, right? But we, of course, what I realized, we were all at the same party in Palm Springs in July.
Oh,
Christmas
yeah,
in
Christmas
July.
in July.
Yes, but I didn't realize that we were all singer and Christmas songwriters then. It was Christmas in July party, but we obviously don't talk about this kind of stuff unless it's Christmas time.
No,
Oh,
and
yeah.
we were there at it. That was a Spotify Presents Christmas in July. So there was lots of industry there, and I bet we were all
Yes.
kind of busy networking in our own way. So it's kind of tough to talk Christmas.
Yeah. Should we go around?
But let's do that. Yeah.
Let's do it. I'd love to hear. I'd love to talk to you guys again. Who wants to start?
I
I'm
think
BB.
you do.
You
Nope,
do.
Go ahead. No,
No,
I think
no,
you do
no,
is what I was
no.
going to say.
Where
You start.
will the snow fall?
Okay, what's up?
Okay, I'll start. My name is BB Jingles, and I write all the sexy Christmas songs that pop stars sing when they want to go Christmas for a quick cash grab. So
Ugh.
anything Ariana Grande, some of Mariah Carey, some of Michael Bublé I've worked with, because as we all know, his Christmas album is horny. That would be described as horny Christmas. So
Santa Tell Me by Ariana Grande, I believe, is the Mona Lisa of 2006.
It's quite a bop, darling.
thank
It's
you.
quite a bop. You did a great job on that one, darling.
Thank you. And I just try and integrate, the sexy feelings we feel of being warm near a fireplace and a stocking into my work. And I've always been super turned on by Christmas, and I'm glad that I can finally turn that into money.
Ha!
So nice to be here.
Ha!
Ah.
Well, you should go. Go ahead, go, Mr. Jack Nicholson over there, whatever you're, Jack Nicholson looking guy.
Hey, what is up? I am Bobby Chester Pear, and I wrote one song and one song only. It is what we call the 12 Days of Christmas. Yes, I wrote that one song 25 years ago, and
Only 25.
I have been writing a high.
1998.
I should also say, while we're correcting dates, Santa Tell Me was somewhere definitely not 2006, but go ahead.
Hey guys, time is of the past and the future. Bobby Chester Pear wrote 12 Days of Christmas, maybe in the 60s, maybe in the 70s, maybe in the 80s. I don't care. I'm high as a bird right now. Merry Christmas. I wrote that one song and I've been writing a high ever since. Ha ha.
Well, Bobby Chester Perry, you do have a lot to be thankful for, because that really has been used every single Christmas. And I'll tell you what's fun about that song is when it comes on, you go, oh my God, we got to hear this 12 times.
Oh
And
yeah.
it's really interesting. It's by far the longest, not by counting, not by time, but the longest feeling Christmas song that's ever been written.
Oh yeah, I smoked the biggest doobie I've ever seen in my entire life, and the song just poured out of me. I've never done a press interview where I've explained what the song means, and I never will. Ha ha ha!
All right. All right. Well, greetings, everybody. Greetings. My name is Denny Fielder. I am, of course, somebody responsible for writing Christmas songs way, way long ago. You guys were probably a little jingle bell in your daddy's balls at some point. Sorry to be crude. But I was, of course...
That is crude.
I've been writing since the 40s and 50s. I've been writing songs over and over and over. I was known as the guy who began to add different details about Santa Claus early on. You know, I wrote The Man with the Bag. I wrote a bunch of...
I love that track.
That guy in my chimney. You know, I was the guy who said, well, what if we don't call him Santa? What if we relate to him in different ways? And I started changing it up and fixing things around. And so that was it. I was friends with Bing. I was friends with Frank.
Aren't you the one who officially made him sainthood? You gave him a sainthood. I
made Saint Nick. Yeah. So when I started writing songs in the 40s and 50s, Saint Nick was not saint. He was just a guy named Nick. And that was a song that someone wrote named a guy named Nick. And then we called him, actually, Saint was added to fill the rhythm of something. Because somebody wrote a song called Jolly Old Nicholas. And it didn't quite fit. So we said, we need to add a quarter beat in there. And I said, well, what about a saint? And that's how it goes. I don't think that's how it works in the church. That's how it works in a song. That's a joke I've told 1,000 times, I think.
And can I just say thank you so much for what you've done for rhymes? Because I could speak for everybody in this room. I think we'd be so annoyed if we had to only rhyme with the phrase Santa Claus. But now that we have so many other options, thanks to you, thanks to Saint Nick, Man with the Bag, the big fella himself, stuff like that, it makes it so much easier and expands the horizons of what we can do.
My personal fave, Lap Man.
Lap Man. Yeah, Lap Man came about at post-World War II. That was a new way we were talking.
I've used a lot of Lap Man.
Lap Man is really good. We have a lot of really, really, really good substitutions for St. Nick. So if you want to call me and get a couple suggestions, I'll give you guys my Jitterbug number because you're really going to want to call me. I can't call you, unfortunately, because my phone doesn't have phone digits. But you can call me. I'll pick up.
I love this because I always thought, this is so dumb of me because I always thought Saint Nicholas came before Santa Claus. I always thought it was a thing based in, a European, like Saint Nicholas is the patron saint of gifts. There's a whole thing, but Santa Claus came first. That's insane. Yeah, you were the one that made him a saint.
Yeah, some people try to trace Saint Nicholas back to Egypt, actually, and those people are liars and wrong. So I wouldn't listen to them.
You gotta be careful how many liars there are in Christmas
in Christmas world. Yeah,
and I think it's important to root out the liars systematically and with an iron fist. Anybody who approaches on our bag has to be silenced.
You said it.
Unless it's, of course, the man with the bag, in which case I welcome all feedback from the one and only Santa Claus.
Man with the Bag, Boot Nicky, Buckle Belt Bobby. You got all the names. I'll tell them to you if you want.
Oh, amen to that too, Turtle Doves. Ha!
All right, well, I'll go. Hi, everybody. My name is Deshaun Through the Halls, and I am a Christmas songwriter, but my genre specifically is the songs little boys sing well. That's kind of my genre. I've kind of cornered the market in that regard. When you think about Christmas, you think of many different songs. You think about the sexy songs. You think about the old rootin' tootin' Frank Sinatra songs. You think about the Saint Nick, Santa Claus, Bagman. And the big category that's overlooked a lot is the songs little boys sing somberly well. And that is my bread and butter. That is my biscuit and tea. That is what I love to dive into. I love when little girls sing it. I love it so much. I'm not trying to be gender phobic here at all. I just purposely write them for little boys.
I get it. One does it better.
Yeah. I think all of us hear it.
I don't want to get canceled on Twitter again. Okay. I do not want to get canceled on Twitter again.
Well, can you name a couple of the songs you're thinking of? Because I know Silent Night's a little older than what you're talking about. And that's kind of gold standard for little boys.
No. So this is where you're mistaken because Silent Night used to be sung by older women, and I was the person that changed it to little boys.
Yes, I heard Faith Hill hates you.
Faith Hill hates me. Absolutely, we cannot stand each other. I'm talking about Christmas Time Is Here. Christmas Time. The Charlie Brown one.
Yes.
I love
Yeah.
that one.
Did you write Little Drummer Boy?
I wrote Little Drummer Boy. So I've got
Hold
a
on a
long
minute.
history of it.
Hold on a minute. Did you write Christmas Shoes?
I wrote Christmas Shoes. I wrote
That's so
Holy
funny
shit.
because the guys who sing that are actually really old, but I could definitely see that being kids.
Yes,
Wait.
so it's better with kids. Let me just tell you that much. It's so much better with kids.
This is
Oh
crazy.
wait, no, there is the kid part. I'm sorry. Ignore me. I'm having one of my crazy BB moments.
Oh no, here she goes
Oh,
again. Here
I've seen
crazy
those.
BB moments.
I used to subscribe to your Periscope channel. I used to watch all your crazy BB moments.
Yeah,
I
there's
love
some,
your Instagram live. I love it.
I used to watch you on Omegle.
and I love going on Instagram Live. I think that the greatest innovation of the 21st century is Instagram Live because it's such nowhere else can I broadcast my crazy BB moments, which I call BB's Loco Time, to the world quickly and efficiently. Normally, I'd have to burn it onto a VHS tape and mail it to everyone I could think of. But
Yeah,
now
that
I
is
can
another
just
BB Loco thing. You thinking that the only other medium is VHS, burning it and sending to everybody you know.
Yes,
I
yes.
love you,
I'm
BB.
old school. Every music sounds better on VHS.
Oh, it does. It does. I feel a little insecure, and Bobby Chester Pear never feels insecure. It feels like each of your songbooks is huge. Meanwhile, my songbook is one.
Okay,
But
Bobby
yours
Chester
is the
Pear,
best.
can I ask, how much money have you made?
I have made up to $15 million off of my song.
Up to, huh? But not over, huh?
Never over, only up to.
That was very careful legal language you just used.
That was.
I have
Really
been
good
legally
jargon.
coached. Believe it or not, I get myself in a couple mistakes here and now.
Yes, I understand that. You know, I wonder how they got into the Christmas music business because it's so specific, right?
It really
I mean,
is.
this is a very small group of people, and
It's not
really
as specific and exclusive as those cats over there at Halloween Poetry. Those cats,
No.
it's hard to get over there.
I tell you, I met a Halloween poet once, and I wanted to run out of the room. Those guys are unbearable.
But
Those
it's
guys are freaky.
But it's hard. I mean, how many of us are there? I'd say about up to 15.
Yeah, that's
Up to
certainly
15 of the major players, of course.
Yeah, major players.
Not
And then
over, though.
There's
Not
always
over.
young guns. I mean, it's a small town, and of course, we're referring to a specific town, which all of us have property in, right? The industry of Christmas music, it's of course Burlington, Vermont.
Yes.
That's where we all write our music.
Uh-huh.
That's where we write it. That's our main producer. Well, one of the best music producers on the technical side is out of Burlington.
Yeah.
So we all turn to Johnny Christmas. He is
Oh,
amazing at what he does.
You know,
Although
Johnny
you
was,
guys should check out the Austin scene. I hear they're recording a lot in Austin because it's
I
No,
heard that. Yeah,
I
they're a
won't
little
do
more
it.
alts. I think, what was it? Tommy Pinecone moved down there and started a
Yeah.
whole alt scene of Christmas music down
All
there.
You know,
I know
here's
is that every other day someone comes up to me and says, "Actually, Austin's actually kind of blowing up right now," and I just
honestly-
have to believe them.
Can I be honest with you? I hear that. I've been hearing Austin's coming up for about 20 years, and it makes me wonder, from how far down is Austin coming up? Because it's certainly not up. It's certainly not up, but it's continuing to come up. So
And
how
when
far
will
down?
it come up to? You know what
I
I mean?
just want to know when. I just want to know an ETA of when Austin is going to come up.
Yeah.
Because I'll believe it when I see it.
We'll keep an eye out for sure. Johnny Christmas, I have known Johnny Christmas. He was 40 years old when I started working with him in 1940.
I mean,
That
Danny,
man is
you're
mythical.
one of the greats.
Please.
Were you working with Johnny Christmas when he was, how old was he?
So he was 40 years old when I started working with him in 1935. He's an old man, and I think he has magic in his bones. And, it's fun playing. You record all of your music on a Christmas tree farm right outside of Burlington, and he has so many bells. You can't even enter his door without setting off a whole ring of bells.
It is the loudest recording studio I have ever been in. It is so
is.
hard to get
It's
a
hard to
clean,
get a
a
song,
clean
yeah.
take.
Because there's bells everywhere.
It
Can
is.
He's
I,
got
can, I do,
trees
can I do my impression
everywhere.
of him really quickly? Can I
Do
do my
it, do
impression
it.
of
I
him?
would love to
Skewer
see
him,
that.
BB. Skewer him.
Skewer him, baby.
Sometimes sometimes I actually leave the bells in.
that sounds like him.
It's classic Johnny Christmas.
That sounds
Because
like
he will.
him.
He's
There's
just said
so
that
many
so many
songs.
times.
Every song that has bells is usually an accident.
Yeah.
We never intended for bells to be in there, and Johnny Christmas works his magic in.
He likes bells, though.
No.
And, here's another impression of Johnny Christmas. I'm going to send this right to Santa. You remember he always says that to me when I know it's a
not
good
as
take.
good
He
as
says,
BB's. BB's
Okay.
impression
was
was
better,
really good.
but yours wasn't bad. I just
Well-
feel like we all say that stuff. You
I
know?
It's not a
understand.
competition.
Yeah, well, BB is a legitimate. I saw BB on America's Got Talent. That's one of my favorite shows. I saw her do her impressions on there. They didn't even
thank
talk about
you.
a Christmas songwriter.
I was the youngest impressionist on America's Got Talent.
And you were what,
And-
30?
You got Terry Cruz's golden buzzer. I was really jealous.
Oh.
Yeah, I was 30 years old and I was doing all the greats. I was doing Dick Cheney. I was doing George W. Bush.
Do a little dick. Do a little dick
Do a
for
little
us, BB.
dick. Skewer him, BB. Skewer him.
I got a gun in my pants.
Perfect. Perfect Dick
It's
Cheney.
crazy. It's crazy, BB, because you're one of the best impressionists, yet you could write sex appeal in a jingle
And I did.
so well. And those two things are so opposite to me.
And thank you so much. And I really appreciate that. And just to answer Denny's question of how we got into this, I think that it's been in my bones for a long time because I've talked about this on podcasts and interviews before, but I lost my virginity on Christmas Eve from the minute of 11:59.59 on Christmas Eve to 12:01 on Christmas Day.
My
That has an
condolences.
effect on you. That
My
has an effect
condolences.
on you.
And no one should have to go through that, BB. And I'm sorry you had to go through that.
No, but it really lighted a fire in me. And I
Yes.
realized I was looking around at these Christmas trees and my partner, and I realized this has created a Pavlov's dog thing response in me where these two things are inexplicably connected and I could never unseparate sex from Christmas. They are interwoven. And so I was doing music. I was doing sort of like Taylor Swift stuff. I thought I was going to be famous.
I loved your singer-songwriter phase, BB. Come
Yeah.
on. I was a fan of it. I've been a fan of you for so long, before the Impressions on Americans
I,
Got
of course,
Talent.
had my EP, which was Running Around the Back Door, He's My Boyfriend.
So
and-
simple. Such a simple tune.
Such a simple tune.
Running around the back door, he's my boyfriend. He's my boyfriend. Gonna put him in the house. And
Gotta put him in the house.
It was so not sexy. It was so
Classic
great.
song.
Just
Gonna
put the
put him in
boyfriend in the
the
house.
house.
He's running around.
that's because I was a virgin then. I was still a virgin. And so that's why it sounded like that. But then, of course, after Christmas and after I lost my virginity, I went a different direction with my music. And at first I was unrefined. I came out with a single called Santa's Got a Brand New Bag Full of Cum and Jizz. And
Yes.
Yes, that left little subtext, didn't it?
Your crude era.
And it took a while to sort of rein it into something that could be commercially packaged and repurposed for pop charts. And so
But
it's been
Jason
a learning
Derulo
experience.
ended up singing that, right? It was Jason Derulo that jumped on Santa's Got
He
a
did,
bag
no
full of
matter
cum and
how
jizz.
much his management has tried to bury it. No one can deny that I have those original recordings of Jason Derulo on VHS singing Jason Derulo, Santa's Got a Brand New Bag Full of Cum and Jizz.
You know what I will say? I loved your music. There's a current song that is number one on the charts. I think Kid Leroy is singing it. It's Santa Zaddy, right? Is there a song that you did called Santa Zaddy? And I
Yeah,
have some of the
Santa
lyrics here.
Zaddy.
Yeah,
Santa Zaddy.
Yeah, it's Santa Zaddy. Save the icks and put a little gat for me. Isn't that what the phrase is?
Yeah.
I don't know what
yeah.
any of that means.
And to be honest, I consulted with my cousin. She is Gen Alpha, and I'm terrified of her.
Oh.
But oh my god, I just got a notification. I'm so sorry. Okay, no, I'm so sorry. I got so distracted. That was crazy. George Clooney wants to do Sexy Christmas, and he said he wants it to be gross. So
Wow, this is BB. This you
Wow.
got to go on Instagram Live for this stuff.
I didn't even know he was a vocalist.
and I didn't either. So after we do this, I'm going to have to hop on and address that because that's crazy. But I would love
that's
to know
fantastic.
how you guys get started.
Dashin, you're a fucking legend.
Well, yeah, so thank you. Yeah, I got started. It was really fun. I had a little cousin. Speaking of cousins, I had a little cousin.
Speaking of
Cousins, I had a little cousin, and they were so cute and so fun. I thought, this is my sister's son. This is my sister's son. One day they're running around the house just yelling. I go,
doesn't
you
that
know
make him
what?
your nephew?
Yes, but I like to call him my cousin. If that's
Okay.
all right. Is that all right with you?
That feels like it has nothing to do with me. So
I will say, Dashin, we just talked about how much we hate liars, so you got to be careful here.
Cousin in my family, cousins mean a lot of things. So that's just me. Cousin can be your everything. Cousin can be your wife. Cousin could be your husband. Cousin can be whatever you want. So I have this little, I'll call him my nephew, running around the house, and I go, what if I gave him a little tune to sing? What if immediately, this boy freezes in place, starts singing this tune. It's so somber. It's so sad. I go, yes, this has to be about Christmas. And that's kind of how I fell into it. It was pretty easy from there.
Do you remember the tune?
Yes, it was a little jingle I gave him called, it was called Wreaths Aplenty. And it went, well, I'll sing it like
Haunting.
Yes. Wreaths aplenty on an empty home. Christmas time. Is anyone alone? Christmas time. Is anyone gone?
oh, gorgeous.
Positively spooky.
Wow.
Spooky all the way around.
I
That's
love
the
your
beautiful
music.
thing about
I
All
love
it
your
needed-
music because everything sounds like it was sung by a doll.
Yes, all it needed was some counting. And
well,
I
you
think
guys
it's
will
beautiful.
not believe. Actually, the money I get is usually from horror film trailers using my songs
Oh, yeah.
as an edit of something spooky.
Makes
Okay,
a lot
well,
of
this
sense.
makes sense. This
Makes a lot
That's
of sense.
actually
Makes
where
sense.
the big lucradation comes from for me.
Mm.
So yeah,
the
that's
big
kind of how,
liquidation, huh?
The
Everyone's looking for that big
liquidation.
liquidation.
the great big
Lucradation.
lucradation.
I'm telling you, I get about up to
Uh-oh,
$1
new word
million.
for Santa.
The big
I
lucradation.
love it.
The big lucradation coming to town.
Coming
Hey,
to town.
open the department stores. It's a great big lucradation.
That's really
Lucradation
fun.
Nation, rise up. It's Christmas. Get all horny and go to the couch. Okay, we'll table this for later.
I love
Great.
it.
Great. Well, my story is a classic story. I had a crossroads. I was 16 years old. I could either join the Navy or join an apprenticeship for Johnny Christmas.
That's
And,
always those two options, isn't it?
Yeah. So it was 1935. The Navy was just kind of getting going. And
Yeah.
we were having some fun.
Oh
over
yeah,
there.
1935, right when the Navy started.
Right when the
Well,
Navy
actually,
started.
They were soft
1932.
launching it, right?
We didn't know what it was at that point. It was just something to do. So nobody kind of knew what it was about. You heard water, you heard boats. You said, that's kind of interesting. Oh, this is the government starting this. This is the military. That's interesting. That's the kind of stuff that was going on over there. So it wasn't a big deal. We weren't in a war or anything. It wasn't a big issue. So you could choose there. You could choose an apprenticeship. You know, I was one of 7 boys. Oh, we were septuplets. We all are exactly the same in every way. So I was trying to figure out a way to stand out. And Christmas was a little different back then. Christmas, it wasn't as exciting and there weren't as many songs. It was mostly silence. When we would sit around, Silent Night was a song written about how quiet everything was. But the conundrum is, once the song is written, nothing's quiet anymore. But it was written inspired by how quiet everything was. So then I got started apprenticing. Ipso facto, I was in Reno and having a bit of a bender. Who was next to me? But of course, Perry Como. And
Perry
we came
Cuomo?
to Perry Como.
Perry Como.
Yeah,
Perry
Perry
Cuomo?
No, not Perry Cuomo. That's
Perry
not a person.
Cuomo?
Perry Cuomo is not a person. Perry Como is, and you should be excited to hear about it because she's very interesting and he had a lot of good songs. And we were having some cocaine, and we said, it looks like it's going to be a white Christmas. I said, wait, say
We
that
were
again.
having some cocaine.
We were just having a nice little bit of cocaine. It turns out White Christmas is about cocaine. Yeah, so it was
No
really
way.
fun. Yeah, that's a little secret. Really a little secret. But since then, I've been having a lucrative time, just writing songs. I have a wonderful time. It's been really exciting to see everybody else come up as well. and have a lot of fun writing in the Christmas spirit, because it really, back then, the Christmas spirit was a spooky ghost. So it's very different now.
Wow, that's really interesting. I love hearing about the history of that. That was really, really interesting.
You don't have to keep saying it if it wasn't.
It was really interesting.
You don't have to.
It was one of the most interesting things. I loved it so
Listen,
much.
your generation does not have any respect for history anymore. Can I talk about it?
Whoa!
You guys don't give a shit. You guys
Perry
don't give a
Como?
shit about the past. No, Perry Como. You guys don't give a shit about the past.
Really
Andrew
interesting.
Cuomo.
Daddy.
No,
I
not
heard Andrew
Cuomo.
Cuomo. I heard Andrew Cuomo.
You heard Andrew Cuomo because BB just said Andrew Cuomo. I didn't.
I
say
heard
Andrew
it.
Cuomo.
I heard
Daddy?
it. You cannot deny it. I heard it.
I'm gonna write about you guys.
Hey,
The
let's
song's
have a
gonna be called
silent night
Bad
moment,
Christmas.
please. Why don't we
Okay.
have a silent moment? Okay, a
Oh.
silent night.
If I could get a little boy singing that would be perfect. Okay, go ahead.
You love little boys, huh?
I
Down,
love
boy.
their voices. I
Down,
love
dancer,
their
down.
voices.
Down
I read-
cancer. Down Blitzen.
Down cancer.
Down cancer.
I don't
write
know.
for men.
I'm
I
high
write
as
for-
fuck.
I write for men, by the way. That's interesting.
That's
I
the
write
difference
for
between you
men.
and him.
That's respectable.
So women can't sing your songs, or what do you mean?
Women can try, and I respect them. It's kind of a sword and a stone style. If they try and it works, they're queens.
That's what I'm
Okay.
getting. That's what I'm
Bobby,
getting.
Point
how did
taken.
you get started?
Oh, well, I think everyone knows my story, and if you don't, wake up. I'm Johnny Christmas Tree's drug dealer. There's no secret about that.
Oh, that's new.
And I was at the studio every day, delivering drugs to Johnny Christmas Tree. I have a gemstone farm where I grow gemstones and I smoke them. And
You mean
what-
so like solid physical crystals?
You grow
Yeah.
crystals. You grow crystals.
I grow them from the ground, and one day Johnny and I were in the studio late. Mariah Carey had just left, and we were smoking some rose quartz, and all of a sudden we saw all these partridge in a pair of trees jump up. And I said, whoa, look at all these partridges in a pair of trees.
So did
So there
the
was
trees
more than
jump
one?
up as well, or was
Look
it
at
and there
all
was
the
partridges?
and there was more than one.
Look at all
There was
these
more than one.
partridges in a pair of trees, my fair son. Look at them all. And I said, look at these 5 gold rings, son. And I said, roll that mic. Get that mic rolling. There are 2 turtle doves in here. And then all of a sudden, we laid down a track. I didn't remember anything the next morning. I went back to growing gemstones, and then suddenly, Johnny Christmas Tree laid out that song. I didn't know. He did it without my permission. And the next day, I got a check for 15 grand. And Johnny Christmas Tree said, "You're on the charts." The Christmas charts, of course. We were charting at number 15 Snowflake. And I said, "What?"
I've definitely got some questions. I've
I
definitely got
certainly
some.
do as well, my man.
And you know
Go
what?
right
I
ahead.
recognize the fact that I opened this interview saying I wouldn't tell this story, but I'm telling it. Because you know what? I'm sick of this. I heard Danny, he says, you write music for men, and Dashin, you write music for little boys, and BB, you write music for sluts. And you know what? I write music for everyone. I wrote one song for everybody that brings everybody together.
I don't know whether to dive in because I think it's going to piss you off. You seem
I
pretty
think you
upset
should
about this
dive
whole
in.
thing. My first instinct is you see a bunch of partridges in a tree. You first thinking is not, oh, there's a bunch of partridges. It's 5 golden rings. And also the song notoriously says, and a single partridge in a pear tree.
Well, that was
Not
my
multiple.
creative take on it, bitch.
Yep,
Okay.
I knew I'd trigger you. I knew
saw
I'd trigger
multiple
you.
partridges, but I said, let's do one. I saw 1 Lords of Leapin', but I said, let's take 10 Lords of Leapin' in the song. There's a difference between the artist and the song, okay?
Now, as a slut, I'm rather interested in the 8 maids of milking.
I didn't call you a slut. I said your artists are sluts.
BB,
Okay.
I was also interested in the maids and milking, so I'm really happy we can unite on this.
I think we all are. I think we all
I
are.
think
I'm
I'm
really
a little
glad you brought
interested
this up.
into where that came from, and I would just like to know if
Yeah.
you knew them or what you were doing or what was going on.
You know, sometimes when you're on a drunken night and you black out, and some things you remember, some things you don't. Maids of Milk and I don't remember.
That's convenient, isn't it? Isn't
Very
that convenient for you?
convenient.
You remember a lord jumping, but you don't remember maids milking.
Fine, you guys are Christmas songwriters. You know when you're in the studio and you get a couple prostitutes in there, a couple nights, a couple hours in there.
Well, I call them sex workers, but yes, we
I also
do.
call them sex workers, believe it or not.
I will go on
you
record
do,
and say
Danny?
I
I
do.
call them sex workers.
I've been
yes.
calling them sex workers since 1953.
Wow, before they asked you to.
Yeah,
But
Sammy
right
Davis
after
Jr.
the
called
Air
me a
Force
pussy
got
for
started.
it. Yeah, Sammy Davis Jr. called me a pussy for it, but I stuck to my guns.
I
Okay,
fear
no-
I spoke too much.
Not to move on, but I have been dying to ask a question from the beginning, and I want to know the songs that never quite made the cut, or if you guys have
Oh,
any
dear.
new releases that you're excited about.
Yes.
I would love to hear all about the new releases. But I've just been dying because this is a room of such talent and skill and precipitation, and I think it's great that we can move forward and find out what songs you guys are interested in and what songs you never made the cut. You know.
Yeah, well, there was a song that I was really proud of that Frank Sinatra, old Blue Eyes himself, wanted to sing, and he actually sang it many times in Las Vegas, but it didn't transcend past Las Vegas. It was called "What's in the Bag, Big Man," and it was from the point of view of somebody who needed something a little surreptitious for the holiday season. So it was, "What's in the bag, big man? Did you bring me a gun? Did you bring me some drugs? What's in the bag, big man?" That was kind of part of the
I
song.
love it. Very not Frank. That felt a little more
Doesn't
And
feel
that's
like
why it
that.
didn't work.
space.
People said it felt like putting a bow tie on a cat. You know what I mean? It just wasn't quite right. It wasn't. It was like putting a little
Yeah.
birthday hat on a lizard. It just didn't feel right. It wasn't organic.
Oh,
And
but
so
this is
people-
exciting to hear an unreleased Danny Fielder is so
Oh
exciting.
yeah, well, I've got many, darling. I've got many.
Sing another.
darling man. Well, there was another one that was from the point of view of a man who is the ex of Mrs. Claus, and it was I could never be the big man. That's what the name of the song was. So it was, I could never give you a house in the Arctic. I could never give you a nice, pretty sleigh. I could never give you a bunch of men who made whatever you wanted. But I guess I could give you a pretty good lay. Oh,
Wow.
I could never be the big man. No, I could be something else. But when I'm enjoying my Christmas time without you, I wish I was an elf.
Oh, you had me until the elf ball.
And that's why it didn't work, darling. The last song,
Just the last
lyric.
line. Last line blew the whole song up.
And I blew the whole thing. I wish I could
No
describe
rewrites.
when I saw everyone's eyes light up when I sang through the whole song, and they loved it. And then I got to I Wish I Was an Elf, and I lost every single thing. I lost my house with that line. And they wouldn't let me fix it. They wouldn't let me fix it.
You lost your house with that line.
You
they
lost
said,
your house.
They said, I liked that song until you ruined all of it. You diarrheaed all over the Taj Mahal just now. And then they wouldn't let me fix it. They were so insulted that I screwed it up that I lost my house.
I hate it when all it takes is one word to throw a whole job off. It's
Well,
like
it's
people
so-
get the Christmas ick and then they can't get rid of it.
Oh, baby, do we have
Imagine the music, I just want to say the music industry is concentrated. Imagine the entire music industry, but it's concentrated into 30 days. So everything is way
Yes.
more intense than you want
and
it to
it's
be.
fast, yeah.
Fast. Yeah.
It's
BB, I
rapid.
love to hear any unreleased BB hits.
Please.
Well, okay. I last year, I'm sure she'd be fine with me talking about it. It's probably fine. But I was trying to get Sia on the Sexy Christmas track, and she things were going well for a while, but she got kind of uncomfortable with because she said, you know, I want controversial, I want in your face, I want bold, I want to swing on the chandelier. And so I'm like, got it, love that energy. And we recorded this track that went a little something like this. I'm a Christmas whore. I'm a Christmas whore today. I'm a Christmas whore. And I'm a jingle elf in hay. I'm a Christmas whore. I'm a slut for 30 days. I'm a Christmas whore. And I fuck every single elf. And it kind of...
Again, ending with elf. Crazy.
And that's what I agree with you, Denny. They get turned off by the Christmas elf really fast.
They don't like the elf.
I think what it is that
maybe it's both the connotations that the elves are having the sex. It's that something about elves and sex is just throwing people off a little bit.
Yeah, they can't get past it. They cannot get past it for some reason. And it's like these celebrities, you know, once they hear a word and you tell them, no, we can change the words, but do you like the basic idea? They cannot hear that. They cannot hear that note. They are incapable of hearing that note. So you win some, you lose some. But I think I am getting on track with Harry Styles is interested in a sort of Kris Kringle suggestive track that we've been working on.
I love Kris Kringle suggestive. It's one of my favorite niche.
I love that.
Niche.
It's sort of like a tip of the hat to Kris Kringle's sexuality.
My
what
great niche calls that Kringle coated, right?
It Kringle coded. Yeah, it goes like, well, I can't sing too much, but it goes something like, Christopher Kringle, fuck. Christopher Kringle, fuck. Christopher Kringle, fuck.
Oh, so just a parody of one of his songs.
I don't hear that, actually. I actually don't hear that, but I appreciate that. I'm glad that it sounds like in the genre, but I actually don't hear that.
Aren't you working with Bruno Mars? Don't you? There was that big controversy about you and Bruno Mars splitting ways on the 31st of December.
On the 31st, it's true. He broke our contract on the 31st of December, and that was for you make me feel like I'm fucking an elf now.
Again, another parody.
Again,
I would say.
I don't hear it. I do not hear it.
I mean, it's not the parody that's a problem for me. It's a bucket of elf now.
I think it was fucking an elf. I think you misheard that.
So you heard the radio version, and I'm glad you did, because that's what I was trying to tell Bruno, is we can change it for radio.
A bucket of elf. I smoke too much stones. Dashin, what about you?
Stones? What kind of stones you smoke?
Gemstones. Bitch, keep up. What about you?
Jesus. Okay, I'll go, I guess. Well, I had a couple that just people said were a little too sad. I had there's been a ski accident, which was very, very sad. When something, Mommy, there's been a ski accident. Mommy, where is Daddy gone? Mommy, now you are my only parent, you are my only friend, and it's Christmas time.
Dashin, I gotta be honest with you, that sounds like a literal, real Sufjan Stevens Christmas song.
I always get compared to him. Because with every Sufjan Stevens, it would make it sadder if a little boy sang it.
Yes. Yeah, Sufjan was really revolutionary for the Christmas music industry.
He's 3 degrees away from a little boy's voice.
Exactly. Basically, a little boy, but a man, came out, said, what if I made the saddest Christmas music but put little bells in it? He changed all the conventions.
Upset. I'm so upset.
I love smoking wood and listening to his stuff.
Yes. His music, his EPs killed Bing Crosby.
Yes.
It's crazy.
Killed him dead in the water.
Killed him.
Yeah, that was a version that was just a little too sad for the audiences, so we decided not to put it out. It was really bad.
That's a bummer.
There was a couple of other ones. I've got a new one that I'm really working on, and I'm hoping it comes out and comes to fruition. It's called Bad Snowball Fight, and I think it's a little more fun than I'm used to. So let me do it.
Ooh.
Tring, 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 tring. A little boy lies bleeding. He's dead now. Rock-filled snowball. This Christmas is over for him, and it's over now. Rock-filled snowball. This is what happens when boys play too hard. They kill each other with their toys.
That actually sounded like a teenager singing that, like a guy in his late teens.
That was
like
my
an
goal. It's a
18-year-old.
late teenager remembering a story from his child.
You're doing like a
Little
boyhood
Cody.
And
thing.
you nailed it. Yeah.
Oh yeah, you really
Thank you.
nailed that 17-year-old point of view of when they start talking about when they were little kids, and as an
Yeah.
adult, you're like, you're still a fucking
Mhm.
baby. Yeah,
And that was the idea, is this kid remembering how men can be violent. Boys can be violent. And when he turns 18, he'll need to remember that, because you guys missed it, but the second verse is all about how he has to go to war.
Too bad we
Um,
missed it.
Yeah.
I was
Well,
trying
I
to
guess
listen
there's
for
no
it.
way for us to hear it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Too bad
No
we missed
way.
it.
Bobby Chester Pear, you've been smoking stones and smoking wood. What about you?
Yes,
Do
I'd
you
love
have
to know
any
this
other songs?
Yeah, did this drug dealer write any other music? This
Or
is
do you
my-
have a new one? I mean, a lot of artists like to release music later in life, you know? Because
Well-
it's just a fun thing for them. You've gotten up to $15 million.
Listen, I've been asked to release new music for years, and I always say no. But next year, I'll announce it here. Next year, we're going to release the unmastered track of the 12 Days of Christmas.
Oh,
So
it's
the
the
Oh, so
same
it
thing.
sounds like shit?
It's just the
The
same
rough
thing, but it
cut.
sounds shitty.
We're gonna
Yes,
release the rough
I'm a
cut.
stoner. What do you want from me?
Well,
Okay?
I heard, can I tell you a rumor?
And I
heard?
will play a bit of it for you now. And you are going to hear Johnny Christmas in the recording studio and the milkmaids. And you're going to hear us smoking the reefer and the gemstones. And you're going to hear us. Okay? And I'll play it for you now. Oh, there's the partridges.
So much milk.
The 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Boys, move in these here drums.
Oh, loads of leaping, 9 ladies dancing.
Wow, Johnny Christmas had to do a lot of work to make that come through.
It's the
That's
originally
unmastered.
unmastered
I don't know
track.
how he made that work.
He really mastered that.
With the
They're gonna play it.
technology,
They're
he
gonna play it in
mastered
the
it.
Grove. They're gonna play it in the Grove live for all the children and all the boys and all the little girls. It's gonna be absolutely
I
incredible.
wouldn't. That's terrifying. That's more
It's gonna be
terrifying than a lot of my.
absolutely incredible.
So
I
is
tell
that
you a
locked?
rumor I
Is that
heard,
locked
though?
for the tree lighting? No, go
That
ahead.
is locked for the tree lighting.
Congrats, I guess.
Can I tell you a rumor I heard, and I need you to say yes, because I heard a rumor that there's actually a mastered version that goes all the way up to 100,
Yes.
all the way up to 100.
Yes.
Could you sing us a little bit of that? Just past 13.
Please,
Past 12.
please,
You don't
I'd
have to-
love to hear it.
Also,
I
please
actually
don't
have the
repeat
sheet
yourself.
music.
Yeah,
I
you
Yeah,
don't have
don't
to
repeat yourself. Maybe start at 87.
I
That's
have the sheet
perfect.
music, and I would love for you all to join me.
No,
No,
you
we-
you
Well,
no.
we actually
you
can't
got
hear
it.
it.
Bobby, we don't know it. No,
No,
I
we don't
have
need
the
it.
sheet music. You can read
I
the sheet
cannot
music with
sight
me.
read. I cannot sight read. You go ahead.
Well, a lousy
Please go ahead.
songwriter you are. Okay, fine, I'll do it alone. Oh, what do you want me to do again? I wasn't listening. Okay,
On the
okay.
first day of Christmas, start at 87. Start at 87.
Oh, okay. This is okay. Yes, okay.
So it goes on the 87th day of Christmas, our true love gave to me.
Yes, thank you. Yes, and then this is the unmastered version of us.
No, it's a mastered. It's the mastered. It's the
mastered.
mastered.
We
It's
just
the
want you to
absolute
release
mastered.
the lyrics, Bobby. What are the lyrics?
These are the lyrics. All right, thank you, Dad. These are the lyrics. On the 87th day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 7 lords of leaping
No, no,
You're
no.
skipping 80. What
You-
the
you
hell
gotta
are
start
you
at
doing,
87.
Bobby?
There's gotta be 87 things.
Do we have to
I need-
explain your own song to you? Have
I
you
had
ever
Johnny
heard your own
Christmas.
song? Have you
Yes.
ever heard your own song?
I stopped listening to it 5 years ago, you imbecile. It's over. It's overdone.
I've never seen a man get more British as I talk to him. Listen to me. Listen to me, Bobby. Because I'm being patient. Look, I'm being patient. Dashin is good cop. I'm bad cop. I have heard about these secret verses, and I've been dying to know the things that you've added to this song. So you
Yeah.
better fucking do them for me right now, or I'm going to call up my friend Dean Martin's great cousin. And
Oh.
I'm going to cause some trouble.
And
Okay,
just to
fine.
review, I guess for you, because you stopped listening to the song 5 years ago, so
Okay.
you can't remember.
It goes in descending order.
It goes, you say the thing at like 5, 8, lords are leaping, 7, this
Yes,
is
yes,
6.
Yes,
So
and you
start
want
at
me to go from
87.
87 down.
Just
and
one,
I
yes.
Yeah.
asked for help, and all three of you said no. Copy.
We didn't
Here we
write
go.
it. We didn't write it, Bobby.
It's okay. Here we go. On the 87th day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 87 vases, 86 totes, 85 girlies, 84 mothers, 83 mommies, 82 computers, 81 genius bars, 80 ladies, 79 liars, 78 hats, 77 palm trees, 76 Toyotas, 75 water bottles, 74 candles, 73 Michael's gift cards, 72 parking spaces, 71 bookshelves, 69 sexy ladies, 68 Christmas trees, 67 picture frames, 68 churches, 66 mothers, 65 Priuses, 64 malls, 60.
This has been Artist on Artist on Artist on Artist. Answer the question now. That's why we call it Showbiz. Good night. Artist on Artist on Artist on Artist is an improvised Hollywood roundtable podcast created, performed, and produced by Kylie Brakeman, Jeremy Colhane, Angela Giartana, and Patrick McDonald. Music is by Gabriel Ponton. The opinions expressed in this podcast do not reflect the opinions of anyone who works on it, not even the performers, because this is an improvised podcast and we're stupid. Full video versions of AOA are available on YouTube, so please like and subscribe, and leave us a 5-star review wherever you get your podcasts. Good night, Hollywood.